bunch of people coming. What's up, everybody? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 7, Episode 19. So, before we get started, a few things. First things first, it was a busy weekend because I told you guys about my daughter's birthday, which was last Thursday. We're celebrating her birthday this weekend, and we also celebrated my son's 16th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to my baby boy, my firstborn, Joe, who is really a lot like me, has so much of my same sense of humor. Good kid, smart aleck, know-it-all. He's a chip off the old block, you guys. He is just like his mother. So, I love my Joe, and yeah, yesterday was full of running him back and forth to the movies. He went out with friends. I was trying to see who he was going with. He made it a point not to let me know when in before I could see. Where Joe at? He must not have been with them girls neither. I'm trying to see. He gonna come out by himself. What a sucker. Oh, shit. Now, where the girl at?
What the heck are you doing?
I was trying to see who you was at the movies with. You didn't even come out with no damn body. Shit. Came out without the person that I was just like, what the fuck is this? So, but yeah, happy birthday to Joe yesterday, number 16. So yeah, I guess he'll be driving soon. He doesn't have his license yet, so got a little time left, you guys. So yeah, that's that. And then also, you guys, I want to mention the Blackout. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know about it, you know that Sweet Addictions TV and the Scorpion Show are hosting a big party out here in Atlanta the weekend of Labor Day weekend. It will be that Saturday from 3 to 8 p.m. at the Crow's Nest out here in Atlanta. I'll be there along with many other YouTubers. I will put everybody's name down in the box below who is participating. They are taking donations. If anybody is, you don't have to donate to come. Let me make that very clear. But they are asking for donations to, offset some of the charges. And the Scorpion Show, and Candy, they've done this before, and it's gone off without a hitch. So we don't expect any hitches this time as well. If you're interested in giving anything towards it, I'll leave the link in the GoFundMe below. You guys only use this link. There's been some shit going on with maybe somebody else might have made another link. I don't know. But anyway, use the link that I provide. We'll all be contributing as well. But yeah, that's it, you guys. So I think that's pretty much all I had to say. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. Let's get to the review, you guys, shall we? Alright, you guys, so the trip is to the Philippines this year, and it's a regular send-off, just like many of the other send-offs that we've seen with Real Housewives of Atlanta when they go out of town. You guys all know that these trips don't usually go all that well, but Lord, we got our fingers crossed this time. And it's your regular standard fare for getting sent away from Atlanta. It looks like we was going to have one little problem when Phaedra got there in her car, and she was like, I'm not getting out this damn car until it's time to check in. Okay, shit. She saw Cynthia standing there. She saw Kenya standing there. Okay, she even saw Dimitri. You know, these ain't really her favorite people, so I didn't blame her. I was like, I'd have sat my ass in that car too. But Portia was like, no, you come on, get on out. We gonna be just fine. Okay, this is also when we find out that Nene is not coming because I think they said the flight is something like 18 hours. You guys know that Nene had the blood clot in her leg. What is it called? You guys know what it's called. Same thing that Vince Herbert has, same thing that Serena Williams has, same thing that Ray J had. It comes from sitting too long in a spot, and also with the different pressures and air cabin and up in the air flying too long and all of that. So, and you can die from it. So the doctor didn't clear her to come. And since we all know that Nene have a problem, we gonna give her the pass on this one. Okay, it does come at the perfect time because Nene probably don't want to be around these biatches anyway. Okay. Nene is also preparing for Broadway and Cinderella. She's playing the evil stepmother. So really, it's okay that Nene didn't come. Okay, I was really fine with it. Okay, we do get a little glimpse of Nene talking to the creative director of Cinderella, and he's just trying to let her know, like, this is the great white way, ma'am. It's a whole lot. It's a lot of moving parts to a Broadway play. You got costume changes, you have to remember a lot of lines, it's a lot of stage direction, it's very fast paced, fast moving, and you got to stay up on it. So Nene, she's nervous about it, and she should be. I mean, this is a big accomplishment. As much as Nene gets on anybody's nerves, you just cannot deny that this is, I mean, no reality show star that you know of has, I can't think of anybody that's been approached by something as serious and as big as Broadway and a Rodgers and Hammerstein production of Cinderella. So good for her. I thought it was real funny when, she was like, is it okay if I use an accent? I was like, Lord, not Nene's accent. Y'all know she be fucking up words and everything. She wants to sprinkle in Crystal, my friend Crystal, this is an inside joke. She wants to sprinkle in a little bit of Nene every now and then. And the creative director is just like, no, baby. Okay, now we've been, like I said, this is Rodgers and Hammerstein. We've been doing this shit without any glitches up until now. Okay, don't bring that ghetto ass shit up in here. It was funny because he used the term urban contemporary. That's so you niggas don't get mad. Anyway, so yeah, Nene has got other things to do. Let Nene concentrate on her play. Let the rest of these girls get to somewhere outside of the country and try to work out their damn differences without the king, breathing down their necks. Now, when Phaedra tells them that Nene is not going to be there because of this, both Candy and Kenya are like, well, what else did you expect? Even that damn Kenya gonna say, I hope she has a happy blood clotless week. I was like, you motherfuckers is heartless. So like I said, you guys, the flight is somewhere around 18 hours long or something. I don't know how they did it, you guys. I am not one for flying. That shit feels like 18 hours on a plane seems like you are flying halfway around the world. I mean, I guess you kind of are. And then when they get there, and they get in their bags, I was like, how the fuck long is this trip? I mean, aren't they only gonna be there 5-6 days? They can't be there more than a week. Everybody has so much shit, you guys. I cannot hate on Portia. Oh my God. You guys, I have a special love for Louis Vuitton. When I see it, I'm telling you guys, when I hit it big, I'm telling you, that is the only ways Roxanne is gonna roll, y'all. I got a couple of pieces, and you can't tell me shit when I be in the airport. I think I already told you guys, y'all, I be sharp as fuck when I have my damn luggage with me. I be real nervous that the motherfucker's gonna lose my shit. That's how you know when somebody really can't afford it. They done splurged and bought a few things. Okay, you be nervous as shit. Can't even breathe all the way right till that shit come up on the damn conveyor belt and you see it. You be like, whew. This airport, Atlanta, I guess because it's like an international airport, they are so good at losing your luggage. So I usually just try to carry my shit on because it's the carry-on size. But yeah, I was looking at her. I was like, oh, it was so beautiful, y'all. Anyways, you guys, we'll have to go through the step-by-step of what happened on the episode because it's really just a few things that I want to point out. Now, first, since Claudia is the trip coordinator, okay, they let it seem like Claudia was the one who got this trip together. Claudia makes the decision that she is going to give the biggest room to Phaedra. You guys normally know that the person that coordinates the trip is the one that gets the biggest room. But she decides to give it to Phaedra because Phaedra's going through a lot with her divorce and all this is going on. Claudia is trying to, I guess, connect in some kind of way with Phaedra. And then she moves it along even further, and while everybody is trying to get their rest from their long ass flight, she invites Phaedra over to her room so that they can have lunch together. And it was kind of strange considering that we've never really seen these two in a scene together throughout the whole season. So really, Phaedra doesn't have any reason to not like Claudia per se, but we know that Claudia is linked to Kenya. We know that Claudia is linked to Cynthia. Two of the people that Phaedra is not really feeling right now, so, you know, understandably her guard is up. I thought it was cool of her to even have just shown up to sit down with Claudia. So Claudia's talking to her, and she's telling her about her marriage, that she wasn't even married long enough to get a divorce. I mean, she was like, got it annulled. I mean, you have to only be married a certain length of time to get an annulment. So I was just like, now you was investing all these feelings in this marriage. You wasn't even married but for fucking 5 minutes. I mean, I guess it could be she was in love with the guy. I don't know. She was telling Phaedra how she felt and how her family felt, and her friends and people was telling her this, that, and the other, and how, you know, she felt like a failure and all that. And she was just like, well, you know, did you feel like that? And Phaedra was just like, well, I wasn't really fixing to tell you all my business like that. Okay, nice try. Look. Yeah, that was nice of Claudia. But the way this is going to work is baby steps, okay? Now, you can't just expect, just because you decided to pour all your heart out about what happened with you and your man, you cannot expect Phaedra, especially with all the water that's under the bridge. Wasn't no way. But I was surprised. Phaedra did kind of throw her a bone, and, you know, Phaedra was just like, well, I mean, you know, I appreciate it that you're trying to reach out. I just, you know, Nene and Portia, they've been there a lot for me, and I'm really just really worried about my boys. I want to make sure that my boys are okay and that they're not judged. I was like, why does she keep saying that? Like, we're not going to judge her boys. We've seen it all play out on TV. Okay, we know what happened. I mean, the kids don't choose their daddy, so what we gonna judge the boys for? I mean, she's the only one that would have to pay for that. But like I said, she did throw Claudia a bone, and she was open enough. You know, she even got a little emotional, got a tear squeezed out or whatever. Claudia was grateful for that. She felt like they had, you know, made some leeway. So far, okay, the whole spiritual and peacefulness of the trip has been working out pretty good. Now, Candy and Phaedra, they go to the spa so they can have coconut milk pedicures. And Candy wants to know once and for all if they have a problem with each other, okay? Because Portia and Nene and Kenya and Dr. Jeff, the whole world seems to say that there's an issue that Candy don't know nothing about. What are you saying to everybody when I'm not around that makes it seem like we have all these problems with each other? Now, this is the problem that I have with Phaedra. She's talking to Candy, and she's telling Candy, like, well, I'm not really saying anything to anybody. You know, they just calling me and they asking me where's Candy, and I'm just like, I don't really know. I think that is just lost in translation, you know, when the information gets back to the girls. Okay, she's telling that to Candy. However, she's telling us that she feels abandoned, that she feels left out in the cold, that she feels that there's some distance between the two. You know, I feel like I need Phaedra to speak up whatever the damn problem is. Can you just say it? I'm gonna need Phaedra to be a little bit more vocal and not so calculated in everything that she says. She does a little bit let on that she feels like Candy doesn't invite her to anything anymore. She even mentions, you know, that she's the Instagram queen and she sees her in pictures with the other girls. But what it all boils down to is she's hurt. I just wish that she would just say that she's hurt and that she needs her friend. How hard is it to say? Now, I mean, let me take that back. I know it's hard to open up yourself and be vulnerable, and especially it's not easy with this group, and especially it's not easy when you're on TV. But I think that this was the moment when Candy and Phaedra, because they're in a different environment and they're trying to sit and have this talk, this might have been the moment when Phaedra could just say, you know what, I just needed my friend. I feel like you haven't been there for me and I need you more. And it was like an opportunity loss. I really feel like Candy and Phaedra's friendship is never going to be the same. I'm not even sure if Phaedra opened herself up like that, if Candy would have even received it right, because we already know that Candy has a problem with processing emotional things. Like when she sees somebody's upset, she don't really know what to do with it. Like, you know, she might start laughing, or oh, don't cry, or, you know, or oh, I don't really know what to say, you know. Candy's not good with that. It's like both of them, the way that their personalities are set up, like, it's just, I think that the friendship is a wrap, which is really a shame. And I don't think that they really had much ground because they just don't seem to see eye to eye. When Candy said, now you talk about the stuff that Kenya said, we know that Nene said some things about you. So if you was able to get over that, then you definitely should have been able to get over that Kenya stuff. Not so fast, okay? Everybody works on shit in their own order. Nene, the shit that she said about Phaedra obviously didn't affect her the same way that Kenya had said things about her marriage. And I guess Phaedra was able to forgive Nene. Okay, they worked on it for the past year, whatever. But she just wasn't quite there with Kenya. When she asked her, did she think she would ever be friends with Cynthia again? And she said no. Okay, Candy just, you could tell that Candy doesn't understand. Because I think that friendship is a wrap. It's too bad, but that's another one that didn't bit the dust. And you guys, that yoga. All I got to say about that fucking yoga is that, first of all the girls is there. Everybody's able to get into the yoga positions but Candy. This bitch is stuffed up in her workout outfit. I said that clearly was for look only. Okay, Candy can't get her arms together. She's struggling and shit. When they got down on that fucking floor, you guys, look, I ain't never ever laughed so fucking hard. I said, is she asleep? That bitch had her hands on her sternum real nice and snug, like right here. You know how it is when you fall asleep in a chair. She was laid back on that, and y'all, when them feet get to going from this, you know, when they just start to fall just slightly apart, that's when you know that a bitch is asleep. I was cracking up, and then she started snoring. I was like, ain't nobody gonna wake her ass up. When somebody nudged her, and she just kind of woke up like, you know how you wake up, you be trying to get your shit together. She rolled on over the side, honey. I'd have been like, look, I'm gonna give up the ghost right now, okay? I can't do it, y'all. I got to go back to my room and get some fucking sleep. But that shit was so funny. Ain't nothing worse than being just knocked the fuck out in public. Let me tell y'all a quick story. You know, my husband and I, we have a friend out here in Atlanta, and he works in the entertainment industry. So he's a friend of ours, but not through all of the glitz and the glamour that, you know, that everybody else knows him for. He used to have like dinners on Sunday nights, and we would go over there on Sundays and have dinner, and you know, a lot of people would come over after church, and it was just really always really, really nice. And you know, it would be like celebrities and shit there. It was funny because Candy, I told you guys, Candy and AJ used to, this is before they were even on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but Candy and AJ would be there. Peter and Cynthia would even be there. This was before they were married, before they were on the show. And you know, it would be like Jazzy Faye, and it'd be like, you know, sporadic random celebrities and people, you know, who's out here in Atlanta that are, you know, very well known. He would even have the fucking mayor there, okay? Even Kasim would be there. And you know, I'm not one to get starstruck, okay? I mean, I'm definitely not gonna get starstruck for them bunch of people that I just named. But you know, you this thing, and you want to act like you got some fucking sense and like somebody done taught you some damn manners, right? So they would have the best wine. And they had like this really nice big furniture, and the furniture was always real comfortable, and you could sit in it and be real relaxed. So my whole thing was to get over there and get my wine and get in the big chair. They have this chair. It's not like a it wasn't like a love seat. It wasn't big as a love seat, but it was like an individual chair, but it was just big, and it had pillows and shit. So I used to get in, and it would be sitting over across the other room, across the room. So it was like everybody would be over here, and then the chair was way over there in that corner. So you was kind of over there by yourself, but you know, people could kind of see you real easily. You know, y'all get in that fucking chair and passed all the fuck the way. I'm talking about just, you know, like, my husband, this nigga wouldn't even wake me up, okay? No, what he would do is take a picture with his cell phone, and then he would text it to me. So when I finally did wake up, I look at my damn phone, and I'll be like, nah, no, this don't make no fucking sense. Why you ain't woke me up? You got me sitting here with all these people. And I mean, I'm telling you guys, I would be knocked out, and I would be so embarrassed, like, okay, next time I go, I'm not gonna be asleep, but yeah, mouth open and snoring and shit don't make no damn sense. But anyway, you guys, let me get back to the show. Yeah, I cracked up when Candy fell asleep with that yoga. I swear, I ain't never seen no shit that funny on this show ever in my whole entire life. It's the night of the dinner, and you know, all the girls show. Claudia, because she's the coordinator of it, Okay, she has decided that she's going to give everybody assigned seats, try to mix it up a little bit, get people out of their comfort zones of sitting next to the people that, they usually get their strength and maybe their negativity from. And we've seen this before, even when she said assigned seats, I got nervous. I was just like, oh, here we go. Because the shit don't never really go like they wanted to. But, we trying to keep positive. They did say because Nene's not there that the energy is positive. I was just like, maybe the energy is different because you guys ain't scared to say what the hell you want to say. I don't care what anybody say. They not scared of Nene, but they are intimidated by her. They let her presence keep them from saying the shit that they really want to say a lot of the times. All right, so the evil stepmother is not there. Okay, so they can all run freely in the castle. Once everybody gets there and they sit down, Claudia lets us know that she snuck in food and alcohol. I was just like, alcohol? Yeah, we don't really need alcohol. Whenever they have alcohol is when this group gets crunk. So maybe everybody needed some water and some soda punch. So we start off. Does anybody have anything to say? Cynthia says to Phaedra, you know what, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said what I said about your marriage. I'm not trying to be in your marriage. It's none of my business. Okay, I apologize. And then Claudia's like, well, Phaedra, do you have anything to say? And Phaedra's just like, no. I was just like, what did she expect her to say? I mean, what does Phaedra have to apologize for? Cynthia inserted herself into that shit, had nothing to do with her, and Phaedra didn't do anything to Cynthia other than walk away from her ass a couple of times so that she didn't get into a fight with her. But other than that, what did you want me to say? All I would have said was I accept the apology, thanks. Then we get Candy and Portia, they giggle. When Phaedra is just like, no, nonchalantly says, no, I ain't got shit to say to her. Okay, then we get Claudia. Okay, now Claudia has fashioned herself as the, she's the person as the go-between to try to keep order. But the problem is people can't keep order when you part of the problem. People don't really have respect for you and listen to you. Even if you try to present yourself as the peacekeeper or the mediator or whatever, you're not the mediator when you part of the fucking problem. So when Candy and Portia starts laughing and Claudia's just like, y'all don't be laughing. I was just like, listen. Candy and Portia shouldn't have laughed. Okay, let's be a little bit more serious about what we're trying to do at this table. But you ain't gonna tell me to do shit. See, you can't tell me to shut up. You can't hush me and nothing. You can ask me not to do that because we really trying to make some ground here. But you can't just be like, we need to let her talk uninterrupted and all of this. Fuck that. I'm a grown up. Even if I might be acting childish at the time, you can't, I'm not going to listen to you. So when Portia was going like, you're not going to shush me at this table. You're not going to tell me I can't say what I want to say. We all know that nobody really has respect for Portia. They don't think that she's really the brightest and all of that. So people kind of tend to run over Portia. So maybe she might be a little bit extra sensitive about people telling her what to do. But yeah, that whole scene with Claudia trying to tell them, what to and not to do. If you don't want me to have a reaction, then quit bringing the shit to the group. The fuck I'm sitting here and listening to shit that's funny to me. Then stop bringing the shit to the group. Everybody had a one-on-one talks. You wanted the drama, right? You wanted to stir the shit up and put it all on this table, right? Okay then. I mean, what the fuck? Whatever. Everybody finally kind of calms down. Kenya jumps in and was just like, well, Phaedra, you know what? You kind of shutting Cynthia out like you shut me out. Now, Kenya and Phaedra have a legitimate beef. There's a legitimate problem there. So Kenya could talk to Phaedra like that. Cynthia shouldn't expect shit from Phaedra. I'm sorry. Phaedra was like, well, you know what? I don't really want to talk to you because I don't believe you. All the shit that's happened over these past couple of years, I don't believe shit you say. And Kenya finally says, well, you know what? I would really like to have a one-on-one discussion with Phaedra just so I can let her hear me out, tell her my side, and without all the extra, because you guys know that the extra is what keeps the shit going. All the outside voices keeping shit stirred up. So Kenya says, I just want to have a one-on-one conversation. That way we can hear each other. Phaedra says, you know what? I'd like to do that too. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, it was like the fucking sky opened up, the damn clouds moved apart, and we was able to see the sun. You guys, years and years of them just you know, just fighting each other. Okay, it gotta be tired. It is really tiresome to just stay mad at somebody. Do you know how much work that shit is? I mean, they are around each other at least 6 months out of the year. You gotta stay mad. You can't laugh when the bitch say something that might be funny. You can't say, oh my God, girl, I love them shoes, or your hair looks good. You can't just be relaxed about somebody. You always gotta be on edge. You always gotta be on guard. You always got to be mad. For both of them, especially Phaedra though. I think Kenya has moved along a little bit more because, of course, Kenya is not as affected as Phaedra as far as her marriage and her kids and all of that shit is concerned. But the shit is tiring. Phaedra's tired of it. Maybe Kenya's tired of it. It's time for something else. So they decide that they are going to talk, and you guys, everybody was just like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. Okay? So next week is supposed to be the week where we get the conversation from the two of them. I am definitely looking forward to seeing what the two have to say. Maybe out of all of this, all these ruined friendships, maybe at least Phaedra and Kenya will be able to say that they moved along. Alright, you guys, so that's it. You guys make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Alright, so I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.